What's going on, everybody? Hope you are having a great one. As always, it is an exciting day for me. We're actually a few days after the USPS day that brought this, but when I get stuff from the USPS, it means 1/6 Outfitter sent me something, and that is definitely the case here. Now, this is a figure that, in all honesty, I don't think a whole lot of people are going to be really excited for, but if you're kind of a strange one, get that out of there, and enjoy the more movie style figures, I think you might like what we got here. Now, this is by a company called DJ Custom. Maybe it's just a dude named DJ Custom. I'm honestly not too sure. We're going to do a little reverse reveal, because why not? There you got the warning if you wanted to know about the choking hazard, which I guess is important detail. And there you see that sweet DJ Custom design. And bam, there's the box, which actually that's a pretty cool logo. So this is a Forrest Gump figure. It is technically unlicensed. I don't care. Forrest Gump, for me, was one of my, I don't want to say favorite movies, but as a kid growing up, once I saw it, I felt it was one of the best movies. Won a ton of awards when it came out. It really is, honestly, a masterpiece. I don't like using that word, but when it comes to movies, yeah, it's real good. So if you haven't seen it, it's about a guy named Forrest Gump. Oh, that's cool. You get a sweet little card. That one's actually numbered, so this is 277 to 299. Let that be known, there's not a lot of these available. It's about this guy named Forrest Gump who just lives a really bizarre and insane life. His foot just fell off, but I don't think that's an issue. This particular sequence of the movie, he essentially decides that he's just going to get up and start running for no particular reason, and he ends up running basically across the world. Now, the foot, as you can see, did fall off. It's a ball joint, so I'm not too worried about that. That happens with them. There's no actual damage there at all. It just fell out of place. So I'll play with that to get it back on in a bit. But just in case you saw that and we're like, oh no, don't worry about it. Now, I will have to play around a bit with his hair. It was a lot more frazzled. One of the actual reasons that I had wanted this particular version, once his hair's a little frazzled more, me and him share a barber and a beard maker. We kind of look alike, so I honestly got this initially with the thought of, if I decide not to do a Forrest Gump display, I could turn it into a custom, but long story short, I ended up doing a different route. So now my plan is to display this awesome guy, hopefully with a reverse flash, if they ever do that, or with A-Train from the boys. I think it would be kind of cool to have A-Train chasing him down. But I digress. We're just kind of playing around a little bit here. I'm going to try and slide the other foot on real quick because it's going to bother me. Just looking at him without it is really quite annoying. Now, this might be difficult to do. Let's see what happens. Roll up the old pant leg there. Get the old sock on, slide that up, and hopefully, well, now I understand why it popped out. That is a tricky one. All right, I'm going to take this, put it in the lap, and do it this way. There we go. Mission complete. All right. That looks a lot better. Now he's got both his feet. He does have the cool fake Nikes, which I guess technically they're Nike. Ooh, we even listed him that way. Awesome work on the creator's behalf. Normally people don't like doing that because of the whole licensing stuff. Also, these are sculpted laces, and this is beautiful. I know I talk more about 6-scale shoes than I probably should, which is weird, I get it, but the fact that those are sculpted instead of just loosely flopping all over the place, I love that. They look amazing. Also, very, very good job on the dirt. What would have been kind of funny, particularly in this sequence at one point, he's running and he steps in poop, and somebody's like, hey, you stepped in some dog and he's like, well, it happens, and that's how the that phrase came around. Or at least that's the story in Forrest Gump, which I thought was fun. I'm going to just stand him up, stop playing with him. Maybe. His feet are a little loose, so I'll probably want to use a base with it when the time comes. Now, this is towards the end of his run, so he's basically got his windbreaker on. I believe he might have a track shirt on underneath. Nope, just a black shirt. So you're going to leave this zipped up the whole time. You could get, different clothing if you wanted to swap it out, but this is basically right towards the end of that long... he runs for like 3 years or something crazy like that, and eventually he's just like, I'm kind of tired, I'm going home. And this is basically right at that I'm tired and going home part. Now he does have a cool box of chocolates, which is really, really neat. I believe from the images I had seen, it opens, which I feel like it does, but it might be tricky to do. Oh yeah, that's going to be difficult. I wonder if they have a handy... They actually gave you chocolates to put inside of it, which is kind of cool. So I know it's going to open, but getting it to that point might be difficult. I'll play around with that a little bit later. I feel like what I'll probably end up doing is, if you see, you can kind of push a little bit on the top, and it gives you a little bit of a wiggle. So I might have to do that and just see if I can... maybe. Hey. Oh, I was so close. At least I thought I was. That is in there snug. And I'm actually kind of dinging it up with my fingernail, as you can see. Apparently, my fingernails are stronger than this plastic. I'll play around with that later just so I don't break it further. I might just leave it closed, because honestly, it looks like a cool box of chocolates. Which, if you didn't know, one of the probably most famous phrases from that movie is, my mama always told me life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. I have no idea why he comes with a feather. I don't know if this is supposed to be like a quill pen. I feel like I should know this. I really don't recall him using a feather at all. So there's that. I don't have an explanation behind it. We saw the chocolate. What do we got in here? Oh, this is kind of neat. I'm going to lay him down just so he doesn't take a tumble. Now you do get some extra hands, which we can take a look at in just a moment. Yank out the other goodies here. The fact that it came with that is hilarious. This is awesome. And last but not least, the hat. The hands, we'll just do this. I'm just going to show you one. I genuinely think with extra hands, once you see one, you kind of know what you're getting. And this, it's really nothing special, nothing terrible. They did do a good job painting it. You get a little discoloration in the knuckles and all of that good stuff. You can see some of the mold lines in between the fingers, but, who cares? Not the end of the world by any means. But he's got a hand like this for both sides, and then looks like a closed fist. So you can do a few different things. Basic trigger hands and punching. Can't go wrong there. Now, more importantly, you do get this fancy Bubba Gump Shrimp & Co. hat, which I think is fantastic. I'll probably put it on Forrest, but I also think this is one of those funny things that I can put on a different figure as just kind of a subtle little amusing thing when people look into the display and like, hey, why is Star-Lord wearing a Bubba Gump hat? So that might be a fun one to play with at some point. They give you a really well-made Oscar. This thing is metal, which I was expecting cheap plastic, but no. It's a hunky one. So if you want Will Smith slapping somebody for something, you might want to go get yourself this. I would not spend $250 on this figure just to get this, but that is pretty dang cool and really good quality. The one thing that made me laugh when I pulled it out, you get a copy of Curious George, which I don't think it... Oh, maybe it does open. Okay, it opens, but no, it's not blank. Holy moly. All right, that is amazing. Bravo. So he reads this book a bunch when he's a kid. That's so cool. I like stupid things. This is absolutely incredible. Bravo, sir. Bravo. Or team. If it's a team, well done. The last few pages are blank, but that's okay. It makes it a little thicker. Just the fact that you've actually got the book in here is astounding. It did a really good job with all of that. Okay, anyways, that's enough of that. We'll go ahead and put his hat on real quick because I kind of got to see it. Now, like I did say, this dude was expensive. He was about 250 bucks. You can still get him from 1/6 Outfitters if you are interested. It is expensive for a reason. It honestly, with 6 scale stuff, especially something like this, as you saw, there's only 300 of these for one, and for two, a lot of actual individual work goes into these. These were all probably hand painted. I'm almost positive of. The hair was probably hand rooted. I am going to have to play with it a bit, but that's okay. I'd rather have it that way than just all over the place. I'm assuming most of the clothing was hand stitched, and they did do a really good job on it. And honestly, the figure is, super flexible. Can definitely go into a running pose. I really want to have him being chased down by A-Train. I think that would be hilarious. Just kind of a nice little dash with A-Train behind him. It'd be good. But that's kind of why you're spending so much, because you really are paying a small team of artists to do a pretty stellar work. I mean, even the way they messed with the pants is pretty good. I like that you actually do have a little more splatter on this side, which I'm going to assume is the poop. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that they were smart enough to do that. If that was unintentional, oh well, I got a lucky one that looks like it's got a little poop spot on it. But I'm gonna say they did that on purpose, because why not? I'm impressed with everything else about the figure. Definitely cool. If it's something you're interested in, I'm not disappointed with it. Was a little more expensive than probably would have liked to pay, but again, for basically a custom, not bad by any means. Also, I will say this is supposed to be Tom Hanks. It's not the greatest likeness. I won't deny that, but I don't really care. In the grand scheme of things, when he's up on a shelf, people are going to know who he is. So that's good enough for me. Also, once I play with the hair. This is really just a quick add-on because I forgot this was in the box. But if you do end up getting this and wondering if he does come with a stand, he does come with a pretty basic straight up one. I honestly like it. You'll plug the flexible post into there. No real fancy design on that, but that's okay. I do actually like the lettering that they used. I think that's kind of a nice little choice there, and it looks pretty nice. It does have the dynamic grabber, so you get one of these fancy guys with the little claw on it that you can bend around. But I just wanted to add that on there in case people were wondering, because I completely forgot about it. So there you have it. Have a good